Okay, today in this video, I just feel like I need to give you all a little bit of an update, but I plan on doing some curriculum reviews of what we actually used this school year, and some of it's been new to us, so I want to make sure I get those videos out to you. But let's first talk. Welcome to Learning with Boys. My name is Rachel. I am a homeschool mom. I have 4 boys. I have graduated 2, and I have a senior this school year, and I have a 7th grader. And I mainly this semester been talking about my 7th grader, but life has happened the last few weeks. It really was not supposed to start that early, but a few weeks back, and I mentioned this on my Instagram. I mentioned a lot of more personal everyday things. So if you're interested in a little bit more details about what's going on, I will link that account below. But I did have a kidney stone. It's just something I have had since I was younger, and I haven't had one in a while, but it put me in the ER, and my senior was actually the one who had to take me. So thank goodness he was calm and collective and filled out the paperwork for me. And with him being calm, it just helped me as best I could in that circumstance. But I am okay now. I am thankful that that is over with. But I talked about in my videos at the beginning of the year that we were trying to not overplan this semester because I had big plans coming, and that was one of my adult sons got married. So that is another place that we have been, and just in that season, taking some time off for that. And it was such a blessing. And we are excited for him and his new bride. My oldest is actually out west doing some schooling, but also helping with some ministry work. So, but he flew in for the wedding, so it was so good to see him again, and hopefully we'll see him within the next month. So, plus after the wedding, we had some amazing meetings at our church, and we are just really involved with that. So we took some time off for that. But here I am, wanting to plan out this school year. We've actually already started. We just had to get back in the groove. But I want to plan out and think about what needs to be finished for this school year. I got his planner out. I got some books. I'm going to talk about some of the books, just sort of give you an idea what he's been reading. And again, remember, I will mention curriculum that I plan to do a review on. So if you are interested in that and you are new here, I would love for you to subscribe and join us so you won't miss those. Let me just mention his math, and that is Learn Math Fast. I will link this below with a code. If you are ever looking at this, I have done a video on it, but I'm going to do a final year review. This is our first year using it. They actually gave me this curriculum to share with you, but it's going great. We should definitely be finished with this book before the end of the year, which is not far away. So I'm sort of up in the air. I really need to look at the next book and think, do we go ahead and just start and maybe just keep going? So, but I'm excited to share a more detailed review about this with you. Another thing that I'm going to be sharing a review is the Exploration Education. This is an online program, but it comes with a huge kit. So it's all hands-on. Like you read online and then you build, you make things. It's been a great year for him. This is a physical science. They do have some chemistry, which he is getting into. Now, I will admit, I don't think that's his favorite, but let's see. He's about finished with the chemistry. He will be talking about sound and light. So I think he'll like those because I know there's some new projects that he'll be doing for that. So that I'll be doing a final review on that too, but I have done videos on those. Now, one thing I mentioned, I know in the last video, is that we were going to try something new for our language arts. We have been using language lessons for living this school year, and I've had a lot of questions about this. I feel like I'd like to answer them in a video by itself, but there are a lot of things I like about it. I feel like there's some pros and cons. That is what I want to share with you. There's a lot in this. I have done a couple individual videos already about it, but I will do one more as our final end of the year review on that, because I like to share after actually using it for the full year. Now, we did try something, and I mentioned this in our last video, and that was the IEW Structure and Style Level B. We went ahead and did the online, the free. They have where you can try the first few weeks free. I highly suggest that if you are looking into that. I think that would help you understand the program a little bit, and probably not to the fullest, but it would help you. And really, he did the first 2 weeks. He hasn't done the third one. I was trying to discuss with him, like, what do we want to carry through with, and what he was interested in. So it's funny because I have used IEW for years with my other boys, and we did 1 year a theme book with this 7th grader now when he was in 6th grade. And that went fine. That went well. He enjoys writing. My others, that just was not their thing. So I'm sort of in a different boat, thinking about curriculum, thinking about writing, thinking about grammar. So just some decisions that need to be made, because I will be sharing his 8th grade curriculum picks with you. Hopefully, at least by the end of this month, I'll be sharing that with you. Let me share some books that he has been reading, and a lot of the other curriculum. Let's see, I showed you grammar, I showed you language arts, science, and math. Most of the rest of the curriculum is coming from Heart of Dakota. The guide that we're using this year is Revival to Revolution. This is where we get his history. And actually his science is scheduled in here with an inventor study. So let me share some of the books he has been reading. We are really just coming to the end of the Civil War. And before we even got to that point, this was like probably a couple months ago, I gave him this book because I knew that we were going to be talking about it this school year, everything Civil War, just to give him an introduction. We haven't done a deep study about Civil War. I know he enjoys reading, and he has the Everything World War I and the Everything World War II. So I knew that this is the type of book he would enjoy reading about this particular war. So he really breezed through that, did a lot of reading out of that. I did hand him some other books. He actually read this book. I wasn't sure. I know one of my other boys read it. I feel like he might have been a little bit older, but not really much. And he said it was intense, but I feel like because he read through it, he understood a lot of what we were going to be reading through the history. So now, a couple other books. Now these books that I'm showing you now are just books that he has read on his own. It didn't have anything to do with Heart of Dakota. So I will tell you that, and then I'll show you the books that Heart of Dakota has to go with this. One of the movies that we enjoy is an old Disney family movie about, I think it's called The Great Railroad Chase. It's an old one, but it is based on a true story about some Unions trying to steal a train coming from Chattanooga north. I think that's how it goes. And I found the book from the original author who wrote the story that the movie was based on. Okay, the name of the book is Daring and Suffering, A History of the Great Railroad Adventure. And I just ended up finding this, ordering it off Amazon. Wasn't sure if he'd read it. It's more of like a journal style, written in a journal style, and the print is horribly small in this particular copy. But he did read it. He seemed to like it. If he actually gets through the book, then I know he liked it enough to finish it. So if he doesn't like something, he probably would just end up telling me and put it down. So a couple other things that this was on his own, had nothing to do with the curriculum, was the D.K. Smithsonian, the Civil War. This is more pictorial in here. And he just sort of looked through that. And that was early on too, really until we got into this part of history. Now, with Heart of Dakota, there are spines, and then there's living books that just reinforce the history. And a couple of the spines that we're using is the Great Republic, the story of the Great Republic, and the growth of the British Empire. There is one more, and oh, here it is. Okay, it is Hearts and Hands, History Lives. And this book was the story about Sojourner Truth, and actually this part of the story of her life told of when she met Harriet Stowe, I think that is her name, the author of Uncle Tom's Cabin, and just their interaction with each other. And it was really, really good. And I think it talks more about her and a lot more about the Civil War history in this book. So that was really good. Now, those were the spines. There are living books, and this curriculum that he is using is ages 11 to 13. They also have extensions for older students, and we've been picking a lot of the books out of that this school year. He did just turn 13. I didn't mention there was a birthday and all that happened in our family. He did turn 13. So, and he loves to read. He loves books. So a couple of the books that we've been reading is Lincoln's Photography. And I highly suggest this book if you have at least middle schoolers, even high schoolers studying the Civil War. This was really, really good. We read it with my now senior when he was in 8th grade. This was a detailed book about his life, his presidency, all the way to his death. So also another one of their books. Now this is an older copy, but I think I ended up getting it used somewhere, and it was in their extensions, and it was Lee and Grant at Appomattox. So he read through this. There are pictures in here, and it doesn't look like a real hard read, but just showing you that. So that was the other book he read for that. Now, with Heart of Dakota, there's also a lot of enrichments. He's doing a signer study that he started at the beginning of the year. He's almost done with that. There are notebooking pages. This is just one of them. There where he will do narration, and he is doing the timeline in his notebook. Now, I did not mention his Bible. That is upstairs. I always have to bring it down, and then I forget to take it back up to him. But he is using BJU for his Bible. He's doing, I think they would be considered the 7th and 8th grade. He did the New Testament last semester, and he's doing the Old Testament this semester, and that is going good. He's pretty committed to getting that done first thing in the morning as part of his Bible reading. And then there's also the book itself that just has more of an application to it, and that is going very well. We may do something different next year. I haven't really decided. I know I did a video of just brainstorming through curriculum, but that has even been a while, so I'm still haven't made any final decisions on a few subjects, just a few subjects that I'm still thinking through. And he actually has geography. This is just a couple of the pages that are pulled out of his notebook. Usually have a teacher's key and then a student key. And it really just follows through history. Like this is the reconstruction of the United States after the Civil War. So that's how the geography works. And that is one of my favorite things about the middle school guides with Heart of Dakota is that the geography. He's also doing a state study. He is using this book because it is written in this guide. It's scheduled in here. And now I want to let you know that Heart of Dakota has been doing a lot of updates. So some of the things I'm showing you may not be in a brand new guide that you would order. My guide is an older guide. It's not that old, maybe 2020. It's actually 2021. So I don't think they are using this state study in the brand new guides that they're putting out this school year. But this is what we are using, 50 states, because it is part of the guide. But we have slowed it down. So we're not actually on the schedule of the guide. We're only doing one state a week. I think they usually do like 2 states a week. It's sort of like an enrichment. Like this curriculum is a Charlotte Mason style type of curriculum. So, and it's boxed. I mean, you have history, the science is scheduled in here. They have their own math and language arts, but you can choose your own. It gives you that option, which we do. But this is going well. I'm debating on whether doing a final review on this, since we won't be completely finished with it. We're going to carry it on into the next school year. But I probably will do another look through because we really have enjoyed it and it's just the details of it. So this is one of the other subjects he's working on. I hope I sort of gave you an overview of everything. We aren't really like a morning basket people, but I do pick other books to read with him. Let me share these with you. We're doing the Life Skills by Amy Moran and Noah Webster's Advice to the Young. Now, this is just something we might do once a week, maybe twice at the most, and we really didn't start it till this semester. So, all right, that is sort of an update Going to get all this scheduled, see how far we should be done, perfectly by mid-May, but it may be towards the end of May. Depends. Like I said, I have specific goals that I like to have finished before we're actually done. So, but since I haven't been on here in a couple weeks, I really just wanted to give you an update, not just on the curriculum, but where we are at as a family. And again, I'll be sharing updates, curriculum picks for next school year. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, I do share more details there. So don't forget to check that out. All right, I do hope you all have a wonderful week, and we will talk to you again soon.